The text message glowed on my phone screen at 2:47 a.m. Come to my house tomorrow at noon. It's important. It was from Jessica's number, but something felt off. We'd been dating for 8 months, and she'd never been this cryptic. My heart hammered against my ribs as I typed back, but no response came. Sleep was impossible after that. I lay in the darkness, my mind spinning through every worst-case scenario a person could imagine when the love of their life sends a mysterious middle-of-the-night message. When I pulled up to Jessica's childhood home the next day, my palms were slick with sweat against the steering wheel. The house looked different somehow, quieter, heavier, like it was holding its breath. Jessica's car wasn't in the driveway. Instead, her mother's sedan sat alone, and I felt my stomach drop. Mrs. Patricia Chen had always been warm to me, but we'd never spent time together without Jessica as our bridge. Why would she ask me here? Where was Jessica? I knocked, and the door opened almost immediately, as if she'd been waiting right there. Patricia's eyes were red-rimmed, her usually perfect hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. She looked like she'd aged a decade overnight. "Thank you for coming, David," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Please, come in." The house smelled like jasmine tea and something baking, comforting scents that clashed violently with the dread pooling in my gut. I followed her to the kitchen, where she gestured for me to sit at the small breakfast table. Through the window, I could see the garden Jessica had helped her mother plant last spring, now wild with late summer blooms. "Where's Jessica?" I asked, unable to hold the question back any longer. Patricia's hands trembled as she poured tea into 2 cups. "She's at the hospital." "She's fine," she added quickly, seeing my face go pale. "She's there with me? I mean, she's there for me." The confusion must have shown on my face because she sat down heavily and continued. "David, I have stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I found out 3 weeks ago." The words hit me like a physical blow. "The doctors give me maybe 2 months, possibly 3 if I'm lucky." "Oh my God," I breathed. "Patricia, I'm so sorry. Does Jessica knows. She's been at the hospital every day, meeting with doctors, researching treatments, barely sleeping. That's actually why I asked you here." She wrapped her hands around her teacup, and I noticed how thin her fingers had become. "I need your help with something, and I need you to not tell my daughter." The request hung in the air between us. I'd never kept secrets from Jessica, but I found myself nodding. "What do you need?" Patricia pulled out her phone and showed me a list. It wasn't a bucket list or a funeral planning document. It was a list of Jessica's dreams, things my girlfriend had apparently mentioned wanting to do over the years. Learning to make her grandmother's dumplings, visiting the art museum downtown that she'd never gotten around to seeing, having a picnic at the lake where her parents got engaged, dancing in the rain. "My daughter is spending all her time trying to save me," Patricia said, tears streaming down her face. "But I'm not going to be saved, David. The only thing I can still do is give her memories. Beautiful. Perfect memories that she can hold on to when I'm gone. But she won't take time for herself. She'll say we need to focus on treatment, on doctor's appointments, on me. So I need you to make these things happen. Create reasons. Surprise her. Give her these moments while I'm still here to see her smile." I looked at the list, my vision blurring. Item after item, each one a small window into Jessica's heart. "Of course," I managed. "I'll do whatever you need." Over the next 6 weeks, Patricia and I became co-conspirators. I'd text her updates like a spy sending coded messages. I spontaneously suggested a cooking class where a chef taught us to make dumplings. Patricia had secretly arranged for it to be her mother-in-law's recipe. I won tickets to the art museum that Patricia had purchased. I planned an elaborate surprise picnic at the lake, not knowing until we arrived that Patricia was watching from a distance, bundled in a blanket in her car, tears of joy streaming down her face as she saw Jessica's expression. The hardest one was the rain. We needed rain for that particular dream, and we were running out of time. Patricia was getting weaker by the day, often too exhausted to leave her bed. Then on a gray October afternoon, the clouds finally opened up. I got the text from Patricia. "Now. It has to be now." I rushed to the hospital where Jessica was sitting beside her mother's bed, going through insurance papers. "Come with me," I said. "Right now." "David, I can't. I need to—" "Go," Patricia said firmly from her bed, mustering what looked like her last reserves of strength. Please, baby, go with him. I'll be right here when you get back. I drove us to the empty park near her house, the rain drumming on the roof of my car. Why are we here? Jessica asked, confused. Instead of answering, I got out and held out my hand to her through the downpour. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind, but then something shifted in her expression. Recognition, memory, longing. She took my hand. And we danced in the rain like idiots, like children, like people who understood that sometimes the most important thing in the world is to let yourself feel joy even when your heart is breaking. We were both soaking wet when Jessica suddenly collapsed against my chest, sobbing. She's really dying, she said. My mom is really dying, and I don't know how to let her go. I know, I whispered into her wet hair. But she's not gone yet. She's still here, and she's been giving you the most incredible gift. What gift? She's the one who's sick. I should be the one. Jessica stopped, her eyes widening as the puzzle pieces started coming together. The dumplings. The museum. This. David, did my mom? I nodded, and fresh tears spilled down her cheeks, mixing with the rain. Every moment, I said. She planned every single one because she wants you to have these memories. Not of hospitals and sickness, but of love and life and all the things that make you who you are. She's not letting you save her because she's too busy saving you from a lifetime of regret. We drove back to the hospital, and Jessica climbed into bed beside her mother, holding her close. Thank you, she whispered. For all of it. For everything. Patricia smiled, her eyes clear and bright despite her failing body. You're my greatest adventure, she said. Every moment with you has been a dream come true. Patricia Chen passed away 3 weeks later. On a quiet Sunday morning with autumn leaves drifting past the window and her daughter's hand in hers. At the funeral, Jessica asked me to speak. I told everyone about the list, about the conspiracy of love that Patricia had orchestrated in her final weeks. There wasn't a dry eye in that church. Sometimes I think about that list, about a mother who used her last breath of strength to ensure her daughter knew joy even in the darkest season of their lives. Patricia taught me that love isn't just about the time we have, it's about what we choose to do with that time. It's about the memories we create, the moments we gift to those we'll leave behind, and the way we show people they matter right up until the very end. Jessica keeps the list in a frame on her bedside table now, and sometimes, when life gets hard, we pick an item we haven't checked off yet, and we do it together, carrying Patricia's love forward with every new adventure, every new memory, every moment we choose joy over sorrow, because that's what she would have wanted. That's what she gave us. Permission to live fully, even when our hearts are broken, and the understanding that the greatest act of love is teaching someone how to go on without you.